Okay, so let's be real. Are you one of those people who's interested in, well, everything? One minute you're trying to learn guitar, the next you're deep diving into digital marketing, and then, out of nowhere, you're thinking about starting a podcast. It sounds amazing in theory, right? But in reality, it often just feels scattered, like you're not making any real progress on anything. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, then you are in the right place. Because the solution, believe it or not, starts with one powerful idea.
And this is it. This one idea is the key to the whole thing. Let us sink in for a second. You don't have a passion problem. You have a strategy problem. And the best part, a strategy problem is something we can absolutely fix, starting right now.
So, what's really going on here? Why does having so many interests often feel so, frustrating? Well, it's because the world we live in, for the most part, is built for a completely different kind of person, the specialists. And this slide just nails the core conflict. On one side, you have the specialist path. Society loves this, right? Pick one thing, go deep, get good at it. It's a straight line. But if you're a multi-potentialite, your path looks a lot more like that winding road on the right, a constant cycle of discovery and new interests that the world kind of makes you feel is wrong.
And all of that leads to these feelings right here. It's like you're standing at a giant buffet. You want to try everything, but you end up taking a tiny bite of 100 different things and never really getting to savor a single one. All you're left with is a pile of half-finished projects and this constant nagging guilt that you should be more focused.
All right, enough about the problem. We get it. Let's start talking about the solution. And it all begins with a really simple but powerful reframe. The issue isn't what you're passionate about, it's how you're managing all those passions. This right here, this is the trap we all fall into. We feel this crazy pressure to monetize every single thing we enjoy. You love photography? You gotta start a side hustle. You're a decent writer? You need to become a famous blogger. That pressure turns stuff you love into chores and just sets you up for total burnout. So how do we get out of that trap? How do we stop turning every passion into a chore? The answer is a surprisingly simple framework. We are not going to get rid of your interests. We are going to organize them using what we'll call the 3-bucket system. And it all starts with these 3 simple actions. First, I want you to grab a piece of paper. Seriously, do it. And just brain dump everything you're even a little bit interested in. No filter. Then, you're going to draw 3 columns, or buckets. And finally, we're going to sort every single item from that list into one of those buckets. And here they are. These are your 3 buckets, and you've got to understand them to make this work. Bucket 1 is the moneymaker. This is the skill that has the most realistic shot at paying your bills. Now, it doesn't have to be your one true passion. It just has to be something you don't hate that has real market demand. Bucket 2 is the soul stuff. This is your non-negotiable hobby zone. Things you do just because they make you feel alive, with absolutely zero pressure to monetize. And bucket 3, that's the curiosity shelf. It's for everything else. You're not saying no, you're just saying not now. Okay, so you've got your buckets sorted out. But just having the framework isn't enough, you know? The magic is all in how you actually use it. So let's look at the rules that turn this from just a list into a real, life-changing strategy. This number. This is probably the most important rule in the whole system. To make this work, you have to be almost ruthless about it. 80% of your productive energy goes towards just one thing. Visually, it looks just like this. That huge slice of the pie, that's your moneymaker. Everything else, all your other hobbies and curiosities, they have to fit into that smaller 20% slice. This is how you stop dabbling and start building real, actual momentum in one area that's going to give you a ton of freedom later on. Now, this intense focus, it's not a life sentence, okay? Think of it more like a strategic sprint. You're going to commit to giving your moneymaker skill that 80% focus for the next 6 to 12 months. The whole goal is to build a solid foundation, a real, marketable skill that can bring in an income. But what about that other 20%? Well, that's where your soul stuff lives. These are the activities that are going to save you from burning out. And you have to protect them. I mean, literally schedule them in your calendar like a doctor's appointment. And most importantly, you have to protect them from that pressure to become a side hustle. That's how you keep on loving them. So let's say you commit to this. You focus, you protect your hobbies, you put some things on the shelf for later. Why would you go through all that trouble? Because the payoff for this kind of discipline is, and I'm not exaggerating, life-changing. First, and this might be the most important one, the guilt just disappears. You know that constant nagging feeling that you should be doing something else?
it vanishes. You're not judging yourself anymore because you have a plan. You are focusing on your main thing, and you've given your other passions their own special protected time.
Second, you make real, tangible progress. You finally go from just dabbling to actually developing expertise. I mean, think about it. 6 months of focused effort will take you so much further than years of scattered attention. It's the difference between saying, I'm kind of interested in video editing, and being able to confidently say, I can deliver a professional video that gets results. That shift is a total game changer for your career.
And third, you build this undeniable confidence. Every single project you finish, every new skill you master in your moneymaker bucket is solid proof that you're not scattered, you're strategic. You prove to yourself that you are someone who can commit and achieve things. That confidence is fuel, and trust me, it spills over into every other part of your life.
But here's the ultimate goal, the real end game. The skills and eventually the money that you generate from bucket 1, they buy you freedom. They create options. And then you can explore all your other interests from a position of strength and stability, not from desperation.
If you take absolutely nothing else away from this, remember this quote. The people you look up to, the ones who seem to be masters of multiple fields, they didn't do it all at once. They were strategic. They built a solid foundation with one thing first, and only once that was stable did they expand. Their success was built in sequence, not in chaos.
So, the system is clear, and the benefits are undeniable. The only question left is the one you're looking at right now. And remember, this isn't a lifelong sentence, it's a strategic sprint. So, what are you going to put in bucket 1 for the next 12 months to start building the future that you really want?